We are here. Welcome to the Dilemma Dudes podcast. My name is Noah.
My name is Keelan. You
No, you're not doing it again.
Trash.
We're doing it right. We're not leaving in another blooper today.
What do you mean doing it right? I'm mixing up the pot here.
Okay, ready? Welcome to the Dilemma Dudes podcast. My name is Noah.
You should redo that one. You sound so serious.
Okay,
That was like a true crime podcast.
I'm gonna stare right into the camera right now.
Welcome to the Dilemma Dudes podcast.
Ready, guys? Are you ready?
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 I'm so ready.
I'm so ready.
Welcome to the Dilemma Dudes podcast. My name is Noah.
And my name is Keelan.
And my name is Devon. Namaste.
Well, welcome everyone. We had a really fun episode last week talking about conspiracy theories. So if you haven't listened to it yet, you should, because
we
was
laughed so. If there's any just like spaces where there was none of us talking, it's usually because we were just like wheezing laughing.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I was to give a summary of that last episode, I'd just let the air out of a balloon, and that's about it.
It was so.
It was
I'm
insane.
still mind blowing. I could get right back into it again, but
Yeah.
well, that'll be a rabbit hole. But we're gonna do another episode about conspiracy theories. I think next week is what we were talking about, because I think people liked it. I got some
funny
emails from my nana. She very much enjoyed it. Yeah, and I know it was a fun time. So we'll definitely do that again sometime. But today we're gonna hit you with some more dilemmas, with some would you rathers,
the usual, the stuff you know and like,
the stuff
classics.
you know and like. And I think we got some good stuff today. I mean, I feel like we say this every episode, so
it's because every episode we got some good stuff.
We got some good stuff. Yeah. Oh, and also we released a new video on the Yikes channel this past week.
Oh yeah.
It's true.
So if you watched on YouTube, probably like 3 weeks ago, we were recording in a gaming store. Our buddy Chris, what's his last name, Devon?
That's a great question.
Rice.
Chris Rice. A friend of ours, Chris Rice, owns a gaming store in Barrie, and so he allowed us to use his space for a couple weeks, and then in return, you're a terrible friend, Devon. In return, we recorded a little video, kind of little promo video for him, but also, for us as the Arts Comedy, it was a little funny video.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
It was our passion project.
It was a passion.
And we have a couple other video ideas in the works there. I mean, we're not doing anything super official over on the Yikes channel. It's just kind of like, when we have a funny idea, we'll release it. And that's kind of the goal there. For us, this is our outlet every week without fail. We're here deliberating dilemmas for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah.
It's where we could just be unapologetically us.
Okay, you're leaving. Oh man.
So today we're going to talk about how you can be the best woman you can be.
Maybelline.
We just feel like we're the authorities on how women should best live their lives.
100%, yeah.
So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. Is if you're a woman, I encourage you to listen to this entire podcast, because just look at us three.
We're gonna get canceled.
I am
so
woman
hard.
and I am empowerment.
If you are, we're gonna get canceled so hard.
It's called.
Actually,
I feel like we need a
That's-
giant disclaimer saying sarcasm for the people who don't understand comedy.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
That's good comedy.
that's great comedy. Let's start it with a moral dilemma.
Sure.
That we'll do one moral dilemma today. Then we have a bunch of would you rathers, which I think are really gonna get us going. Although this moral dilemma could get us going too.
Whoa.
Yeah, you know it.
Get our brains going. There we go. That's
that's not what I. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get confused.
I thought we were talking about getting our comedies going, but okay.
You wonder why we only record from the chest up? It's because our comedy are going.
Yeah, I always leave it hanging out. Yeah.
Goodness, let's not get into this. Because if
Hey, I almost made it.
If people are just coming onto the podcast listening to this episode, they have no idea what we're talking about.
They gotta go back and listen to the first episode.
They have to.
Yeah.
Listen to every single one. Come on. Come on. All right. So here we go.
The best comedic content.
Yeah, exactly. So you are an emergency worker that has just been called to the scene of an accident. When you arrive, you see that the car belongs to your wife. Fearing the worst, you rush over to see she is trapped in her car with another man. She sees you, and although barely conscious, she manages to mouth the words, "I'm sorry." You don't understand, but her look answers your question. The man next to her is her lover, with whom she's been having an affair. You reel back in shock, devastated by what her eyes have just told you. As you step back, the wreck in front of you comes into focus. You see your wife is seriously hurt and she needs attention straight away. Even if she gets attention, there's a very high chance she's going to die. You look at the seat next to her and you see her lover. He's bleeding heavily from a wound to the neck, and you need to stem the flow of blood immediately. It will only take about 5 minutes to stop, but it will mean your wife will definitely die. If you tend to your wife, however, the man will bleed to death despite the fact it could have been avoided. Who would you choose to work on?
I get back in the ambulance and leave.
I'd get back in the ambulance and drive through the crash again, making sure both of them are dead.
Here's the thing: as an emergency worker, you're supposed to come on scene and assess who has the highest likelihood of survival. That's the first person,
which would be the man.
But I mean, I would hate this man so much right now.
Is it just you?
I guess it's just you. You're an emergency worker.
One-man army, man.
Wait, where is this that paramedics don't go in pairs?
Must be in a small little town.
Yeah, I'm the police department, the fire department, and the paramedics here.
He just drives up on like a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Aviators on, leather jacket. I'm the law of these spots.
Oh man.
No, okay, cool. Seriousness.
This is a serious podcast, okay?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here is the thing. I feel like I wouldn't hate him nearly as much as I would hate her.
Whoa. Okay, but she's still your wife, okay?
Yeah, but that makes it worse. Because here's the thing: is with him, you could make up a ton of excuses, even if he knew that she was married. He has no connection to you whatsoever. It's not like he's doing it out of some sort of personal spite. Where she's directly doing it against you. So I think I would be more upset with her. So I think I'd have an easier time saving him, especially since he has a more likelihood of surviving.
Because I think
would I hate him? Yeah, I totally would. But I think it would be, I'd feel more hurt against her, and then combine that with his likelihood of survival.
Yeah.
Because like as a medical professional, when you go into a scene,
I thought you were gonna say as a medical professional, like
as a
me.
medical professional. I personally no, like when you go into a scene, you have to like put aside your feelings for now and deal with the situation
as it is.
So you have to assess it as that like almost robotic, like what is the probability of these people's lives? Okay, cool. We're gonna deal with that one first. Deal with this one, and then later we'll have it out in the hospital.
Yeah, but it's kind of the fact that if you decide to save him, she's not gonna live. Yeah.
I was gonna divorce her anyway. This way I get all everything.
Oh God. Here's the thing.
No, but
I mean, it kind of sounds like he already knew, because it's like you look in the seat next to her. It's her lover.
Yeah.
Well, how did he know?
Well, I feel like maybe he had suspicions or something. So it was like,
so
this makes
probably
sense
already
now.
down the rabbit hole of getting that divorce.
Yeah.
Another thing, kind of what going off of what Keelan said, like my dad's a firefighter. What?
Sir, I would staunch his bleeding with the divorce papers.
Ouch.
And making eye contact with your wife the whole time.
This is now signed in blood.
Oh goodness.
No, but my dad's a firefighter, and like I don't even know if the emotional fact of it.
Can you go bring in your dad? Can we ask him?
He's actually at work right now.
Darn it.
But like I've seen him go into like, we call it work mode.
I would hope so. You've seen him.
Come on. But like he goes into like a work mode, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, like I know this is gonna sound really bad, but like people stop becoming people almost. At least from what he from what he talks about, what he talked about, like stories and things like that. Again, I've only seen him like go into work mode like once or twice, but like from my understanding of it, he kind of just 100%, and not autopilot. I don't want to say autopilot, but he kind of just like pushes all the normal human reaction to the back of the mind, and he just goes, firefighter, gotta help save people.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter. Like he could be the biggest jerk in the world, but everything is like in the moment of trying to help someone, because that's what he has to do.
Yeah, 100%. If you're following all the protocols, then you'd save the guy. But here's the thing. I wouldn't agree with the fact that I would be like, screw my wife, I want her dead now. I don't think I would. Like, I don't think it's still your wife, and you've still loved her and spent a lot of time with her, just to see her freaking bleeding out in a car. That would be a pretty tough emotional moment to be like, whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, your job
I'd have
is
some sympathy.
Your job is to ideally save both of them. Is to at least try to save both of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually why there's 2 people in a paramedic team.
Yeah. Not in this case, okay? Not in this case.
But also usually if you're called to the scene of a crash, I would say 9 times out of 10 people call 911, and actually usually the fire department gets there first, which is weird. But usually there's other medical professionals around you to help, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in a real life situation, the like, I don't know, the percentage of both of them dying or one of them dying is actually very low.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Let's say, for the sake of example, she's not a cheater. Not at all.
Yeah.
Exact opposite.
You misread the whole situation.
Yeah. Sure, whatever. I still think the right thing to do would be go save the person who has the most likelihood of surviving.
Yeah.
But would I do
no matter what the subtext is? I don't know what I would do in that situation, but I'd like to think if I could choose like a robot, I would definitely choose the person who has the most likelihood of survival.
I'd say I'm 100% sure I would not do that in that situation. Like, even if I was in a car with you guys, like 2 of my best friends, and if we were and I came up and you guys were dead in a car, there was like 3 other people in the car with you, I would probably save you guys first. I'm just being honest.
Well, you would be mad that we went out with other people instead of you.
Well, first, there we go. That's the dilemma.
Screw you guys! Screw you!
You guys went to the movies without me.
It's the same dilemma. I'd be mad. Yeah, for sure, I'd be mad. But I gotta save people I care about.
We're comparing cheating on your husband to going out seeing a movie with a separate group of friends.
That's cheating in my books. Yeah. Especially if I didn't know about it. That's cheating. If you guys were like, oh yeah, I was like, oh hey guys, I want to hang out tonight. You're like, yeah, sorry, we're busy. Then I come up on a car crash. You guys are in there. Well, now I'm thinking about it. No, I think I'd screw you guys. You're dead.
Yeah.
Even if you guys
screw us beforehand.
Yeah.
Oh, no. then you're really going to jail. I don't know.
I'm just picturing our mothers listening to it right now.
Yeah.
Did they just
My mom already disapproves.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? She comments on every single post.
Yeah,
I really like this episode.
I love this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the biggest fan.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious when my mom listens to them. She'll listen to them on full blast on her phone in the living room.
Oh, that's
and
so awkward.
So I usually hide in my room. And there are parts where she's like, I loved this part, but there's always one part. It's usually my foul language.
Yeah.
Where she's like,
yeah. You know what my mom said the other day? She goes, the podcast's really good. Your guys' conversation is really good. I really enjoyed it. The decisions that you guys come up with at the end of the conversations, though, and I'm like, yeah, we kill someone in every single conversation. Of course you're not going to like it.
Well, that's what's going to happen.
Sometimes we don't got a choice. What are we supposed to do with this one?
Exactly. And I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, the whole point of the podcast is our conversation. It's not the outcome. We're just putting an outcome because we have to.
Yeah. We're not coming up with scenarios of where we just want to murder people. It's just, if you're in one scenario, like most of the scenarios, someone's going to die. So
Okay, I guess I'll just delete my Google Docs.
But I feel like here's the thing with this scenario. I think I would save my wife. But I know that's probably not the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I would attempt to save my wife, knowing that, I mean, it sounds like she's probably going to die, like 90% chance.
Yeah.
But I couldn't imagine not doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd be curious, Devin. This is probably a terrible question to ask your dad, but you should ask your dad what he would do.
That's why I wanted him to come in.
If, say, like, burning building, it's like an apartment building, and one of the people in the apartment is you. What do you like? You should ask him.
Let me just call him up real quick.
Bill Humphries. How are you actually calling him?
Let's see. I doubt he's gonna answer. He's at work.
Oh, this could be a great feature on the podcast.
My dad's a firefighter. Okay, 5% of it's running around risking your life. The other 95 is him driving around and napping.
Right.
If he answers, make sure you put it on speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Hey, Dad, you got a couple seconds?
Yes.
All right, so I'm currently filming an episode of our podcast, Dilemma Dudes, and one of them has to do with emergency responders, and we want to know what you would do. Okay, let me put you on speakerphone real quick.
There we go.
All right, you still there, Bill? Okay.
Put him
Wait,
up to the mic.
All right, so you're close to the microphone now. What's the question again, guys?
Just ask
him if there was a burning apartment building and you were one of the people in the apartment building, would he save you first?
Even if you had the highest chance of death.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question is if there was an emergency situation like a car crash or burning building, and I was involved or someone else close to you was involved, how do you think you would be able to respond? Do you think you would respond to saving the person you loved first, or would you try to keep it as professional as possible and go with the regular procedure?
We're gonna get him fired at his work right now.
I get what you're saying. I think what would probably end up happening is you just go full bore, and like if it was a burning building, you'd have your gear on and you'd be dragging someone in with you, like one of your crew members, and just go and get everybody out that you could.
So you'd kind of do the regular thing, but you might be a little bit more invested, you could say.
You just ramp up what you're doing.
Okay.
I mean, the procedures are there to make things work, right?
Right.
If it's a fire and I don't grab the nozzle, then I'm unprotected and I can't get you out. So yeah, I'm still going to do what I'm required to do and grab the nozzle with the hose and run into the building. But I'd just be moving that much quicker, that much harder, and I'd be pushing the envelope of how hard I'd go into the fire.
He's gonna go full Terminator.
Yeah.
Noah says you'd go full Terminator.
I'll be back.
All right. Well, thank you, Bill. We'll let you get back to what you're doing. Everyone, this is my dad, Bill Humphries. All right. Thank you. See you later.
Bye, Bill.
Bye-bye.
Oh, that was actually very that was like super insightful, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess I didn't think about the fact like those procedures are there to make the likelihood of everyone's survival the highest.
Yeah. So if you like mess with it, you'd probably actually make it worse.
You could make like not only the likelihood of your loved ones, but everybody else.
Yeah, like especially I would say in like a firefighting team, because they go in teams, right? So it's like if they were like, oh, Bill, your son was in there, and he just starts pushing people aside and like running in, right?
Like it's a Hollywood movie.
Exactly. Like they wouldn't be able to do their job properly. So yeah, I guess he'd be like,
yeah, it'd make it way worse.
Pushing people to
very
not go faster unsafely, but yeah, do the whole like make sure everybody's out safe.
He'd like just grow some extra arms. Freaking be running like you
scales the side of the building.
Yeah, just like spider webs all of a sudden just show up on him. You're like, what? I didn't know he could do that.
and
he just has laser eyes.
Noah's gonna edit in the portion from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 1 where he saves the people from the burning building.
I'm sorry, my mind is just at the Incredibles right now, where they're in the burning building.
Oh right.
All right. So should we move on to the next one?
Yeah. So Bill Humphries would turn into Mr. Incredible to save his son. That's what we said.
Yeah.
All right, Keelan, you wanna get up, you want to do some would you rathers?
First one is,
I
would
feel
you
like you just
rather
had a
talk
stroke there for a
normally
second,
or?
I'm not good at
we
talking.
just hear a slight pop and blood just starts coming out of his tear duct. It's like,
oh, nasty. Nasty.
Man. Oh, here's a good one. Would you rather be a little late or way too early?
Way too early.
Yeah.
I already do that.
Okay, here's the thing. I think it's awkward in either scenario because when you're way too early, like I'm just picturing like rehearsals. When you're way too early for a rehearsal,
way too early is like 30 minutes early.
Yeah, and you're just like sitting there. It's just you and like a director or something. You're like, yeah, so I gotta make awkward small talk for a solid 30 minutes.
Can I sit in my car?
No, you're walking.
I would say you're in the venue. Yeah. You're in the building. But I mean,
because here's the thing. Is way too early. It's kind of like, oh, this is a little weird. But you can like play it off, being like, oh, I want to work on my lines, or depending on the situation.
You can do something while you're there.
Late. I showed up 5 minutes late to one rehearsal. It was the first rehearsal, and the director was like, "Oi! What took you so long, Devon?"
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
And everyone's sitting there silent, and you're just like,
I'd rather be the weird kid that's early than the kid who's getting in trouble for being late.
Yeah, obviously it depends on the situation, but yeah, I mean, I think I could deal with the awkwardness of being like super early. Well, like what is way too early? Because if way too early is like an hour, like you show up, like the building's not even unlocked. They like show up, you're just sitting on the curb. Oh, hey guys, I just thought I'd get here a bit early,
I remember one rehearsal. I think it was during Oliver. So it's during like winter because it's the family show, and it was like super cold out. I didn't have a ride to rehearsal, so I had to bus there. I bus there, lights are off. I'm like already 5 minutes late, so I'm like hustling. Lights are off, doors locked.
Oh no.
I'm like, what is happening? And of course, it was back when I only had like an iPod, so I didn't have data or like anything, so I couldn't check my email. So I had to walk back up the street. Also, me being the dumbest person in the world, didn't wear winter boots.
Of course.
Wore just like skate shoes.
Had like
back
sandals.
Up to back up to the Tim Hortons. Got Wi-Fi, checked my email. Rehearsal had been canceled. So I was like, dang it. And my parents were away. So I didn't have a ride home, so I had to call my Nana. It was like 9:30 at night.
Aww.
She's definitely already in bed. Could be like, can you come pick me up? She couldn't, and so I caught the buses end at like 11 o'clock, right? The last bus I could get and busted home.
This is a saga.
It was the worst night of my life. Just
goodness.
Freezing cold.
Oh god, I would have been crying.
It was the worst. It was the worst.
I got
been bawling.
I got a similar story. I had an audition in Toronto, and what I normally do is I drive up to the Vaughan subway station, or even just a little past it, to the new one.
Yeah.
And I park, get on the subway, and then just go do my thing. Well, I had misjudged how busy it was, because I used to have vocal lessons down there too, and it would always take forever to get anywhere.
Yeah.
So I misjudged how long it would take me. So I get there, I park, I get out, take the subway, have to take a streetcar. I show up to this audition like 45 minutes early. Okay? I walk in, I sign in, because I was like, okay, I'll just go over stuff. Maybe they'll hand me the thing, right? The guy looks at me and signs me, and he's like, okay, so you're like 45 minutes early. By the way, we're an hour and a half behind.
Oh no.
I'm like, no, man, come on.
You're 2 hours early, pretty much.
Like 2 hours and 15 minutes early, pretty much. And it was a weird mix of like, it was kind of great because I like left, I went grabbed an Italian sandwich from this little place. I like sat like in a park and just like listened to some music, eating this sandwich. Yeah. I got like a coffee. Like, it was nice.
It kind of allowed you to decompress and calm down before your audition.
Exactly. But at the same time, I couldn't enjoy any of it because of the looming pressure of like, hey, guess what? You got to show everything you got in 10 seconds in this audition coming up. You better be on your freaking A game. And it's like, I can't enjoy the sandwich because I'm stressed.
It's the hardest thing because you come into an audition waiting room like here. You're like, okay, I'm ready. Gonna go. good to do this. Sign in. You're 2 hours early. Ah, crap. It just drops.
That's why like whenever we did like auditions or anything at Moving Art, I was always like, I want to go first. Let me go first. I'll go first. Because you walk in, you're hyped, you go in right away, you get it over with, and you're out of there.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit around stressing about it for an hour, let alone 2.5.
That's the worst.
Yeah, it sucked. I can't remember if that was the time I also locked the keys out of the car too, but
I think it was.
Or the keys in the car.
Yeah, I remember this story. I think that was the same time.
So my brother had to come from his work on his lunch break because his work was like 15 to 20 minutes away from there with the spare key and unlock it for me.
Oh, jeez.
I think it was a separate time though, actually, now that I think about it.
Man. Well,
That's
I think yeah, it's probably better just to show up way too early.
It's early. Was it my
just
dad?
Make some self-deprecating jokes when you show up. Like, yeah, I'm a loser. I know. Okay, whatever. I'm a loser that shows up early. I have nothing. I have no life. Okay. Yeah. Say what you want. Think what
this
you want.
This has been the highlight of my week. Okay.
Just make an absolute scene when you show up.
No, not this rehearsal. Seeing you early has been the highlight of my week.
Yeah. Well, what I want to know is what forces you to come in early? Because like, let's say you're really busy. Let's say you got like a meeting from like, 5 to 6, and then you got I don't know, like a rehearsal from 6:15 to 7. What's for? Do you have to leave the one place early just to show up at the other place early?
This is probably talking like would you rather be accidentally early?
Yeah.
All the time. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Because I mean, I would hope nobody is purposefully late.
No, I'm never purposefully late, but I do have a habit of just being like 2 minutes late. Like, I mean, nowadays, like, I'm not going anywhere. So for Zoom meetings, I'm usually right on time. Actually, no, that's totally a lie.
That's not true. Every single time I'm like, someone's on, please come on.
Yeah. Well, no, but that's early. No, I realize that's a lie because even my school classes, I'm like, oh, I don't need to get on right when it starts. Like,
yeah,
you were playing Minecraft with me. You were so late today.
I was like 15 minutes late
because of Minecraft.
Like, having done auditions for years and having that like 15 minutes before ingrained in my brain, I'll come on to Zoom meetings or whatever 5 minutes early because I want to like be there, right? Like to show them that, even if it's just like a random meeting, I'll do it 5 minutes early. And like
no one else really
run
does that.
The audition don't start the meeting until like 1 minute after.
Yeah, I had an interview the other day and I was on like 10 minutes early and like they were like 5 minutes late. I was just sitting there. I'm like, well, are they gonna come on or
exactly
or no?
Again, for me, I think it's the same mindset of like having to be 15 minutes early. Like when I plan out, like let's say I'm going in for an audition in Toronto. When I plan it out, I'll be like, okay, so it takes, and I'm making up the numbers, it takes, roughly 45 to an hour to get to the subway station. Well, I'll give myself an hour and 15 just in case. All right. So then the subway from this to this is usually about 35 minutes. I'll give myself 45 just in case.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the subway from here to here, or the streetcar from here to here, usually takes about an hour. Oh, give myself an hour and 15 just in case.
Yeah.
Now I'm like 45 minutes early.
Oh man, well, let's do another one.
Okay, I have a good one. Would you rather date someone you met online or go on a blind date?
Okay, I think a blind date would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
And the whole online dating thing is hard. I haven't really tried, but the idea of it.
I was gonna say I'm in a relationship, so I can't really speak to this one.
It's like it's been hard for me these days. Your girlfriend's listening. Sorry, what?
Sorry, excuse me. The question is the online date? Do we have like confirmation, like that this person is who they say they are? They look like what their picture is.
No.
Like,
let's say no.
Do we have confirmation?
But then it's technically
well, then they're just a blind date then as well. They're both just blind dates.
Yeah, it kind of is, but the one you met online, you kind of you've probably been texting and stuff or something.
I was gonna say, let's say you've been talking to this person online for a month or two.
So you have a certain level of trust.
You've both kind of established that it's time to meet up. Let's go for coffee. Let's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the thing is also the blind date one. Like, is it one of those things where it's like Noah's like, hey, man, I know this girl, yada, yada, yada. Let me set up a blind date for you. I'd look at Noah and go, sure. if I just find like a piece of paper on the ground saying like meet me here, blah 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 blah, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go.
No, it's
like it depends. Like if I get like set up like from a friend of mine, like yeah, I'd probably go. I'd probably pick that over the internet, the random internet.
No,
where
it's
be a 45-year-old man gonna chokehold me.
No, it's more like they have like blind date restaurants and stuff where you just show up and then
you just pick a seat and someone else
Yeah.
sits down.
yeah,
That's kind of cool.
I thought it'd be kind of neat actually.
Yeah, I think the only way I would do a blind date is if it was something like that, or if it was something like my friends were like, "Do you want to do a blind date?" And you're like, "Sure," and they're like, "Cool, I'll have someone come meet you somewhere."
I think I would definitely
that's-
prefer a blind date, like in all the scenarios we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like again with the blind date thing, like if my friend sets me up with someone, heck yeah, I'll go. But those blind date like cafes, you know I'm gonna be sitting there for an hour by myself. You know that's what's gonna be happening.
It's a blind
and I don't want to
date.
go through
No.
that. I don't want to go through that.
I think what they do is like they set you up with you don't just gotta walk around the cafe and be like, oh, who looks cute. It's like you show up.
Well, what's the point?
You're gonna be with someone no matter what.
Do they actually? Here's if I ran one of those cafes, I'd be like someone comes in, they sit down, say it's an empty table, sit down at the table. I'd have them be blindfolded.
Yeah, so that there's a
And
place
then
in Toronto, I think
you
that
blindfolded before you even get to a table, so you have to sit down, and they're like, "All right, take your blindfolds off. Have a nice day."
Yeah, I think there's
So
a
wait,
place in
correct me if I'm
Toronto
wrong.
it's all completely pitch black too, so you don't even see them the whole time.
Whoa, okay,
That's
hold
kinda
on,
cool.
hold
I don't
know. I think it's
hold on. I'm confused. So what? You just go, hey, restaurant, I'm coming in on Tuesday at 7:00, and they go, okay,
I don't
cool.
know how it works.
Keelan's coming in at 7:00, and Rebecca's here at 7:15. We'll just link them together. Here, I'll go have fun. Is that how it works?
Yeah, like you're signing up for the experience. Yeah.
Because I totally thought it was just window shopping.
No.
That's
That's what I
there
thought.
just watching people walk by, just like, oh, another one walked by. Okay.
That's
No,
what I
what
thought
the
it was.
Why would you think that makes no sense?
Because the blind date part of it is that you've never seen them before you sit down.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's not that.
That's
it's not
fair.
that
Okay.
you're being set up. Basically, is what it is.
The whole like in the dark thing is interesting.
Yeah, I really want to do that.
It reminds me of what's the TV show? Blind Love or Love is Blind?
Yeah, Love is Blind.
That just came out,
Mhm.
where they spend like 2 weeks not seeing each other, but like everybody gets to talk to each other, and you kind of like suss out the vibe of the people, and then you marry them right away.
Yeah, that's insane. That's just
They
pure
get
Netflix
engaged
drama.
like in 2 weeks, and it's like, we're testing to see if love is actually blind. Will these people actually be in love after 2 weeks of just talking to each other? No. They may have a really big crush on each other, but they're not in love, because like most of the couples don't actually.
It would be a
doesn't
fun
work out.
experience just for like testing my knowledge of like when I hear someone's voice and talk to someone, if I can really guess what they look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I listen to
yeah.
podcasts for the first time and I don't know what they look like, and then
Right.
I'll like look
I'm
at a
always
picture,
so
or like
wrong.
I watch YouTubers. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, this is not what I expected. Like
yeah.
that's the part that I think would be fun, because you'd be like you'd be on this date, like, oh, this person seems super cool and nice. I don't know. I'm picturing a certain
But here's
picture in
the
my
thing,
head,
I'm
and
not-
the lights come
what-
on. You're like, oh god, okay.
Yeah. What happens if the lights come on and you're like, never mind?
It's like a Filipino man.
Now, what if it's a goblin, right? Like, what do you do? But no, like I'm listening.
'Cause
Like
that's the
I
thing is,
listen
like-
to like
is, like-
YouTubers all the time and podcasts, and then I'll like see and in my head they're always like super hot. As soon as I see them,
yeah.
I'm always
That's so
underwhelmed.
true.
I'm always underwhelmed.
Okay, well, if it's a
So
if it's
anybody
a gaming
who's just
YouTuber,
listening to this podcast, just know none of us are attractive. I'm
no,
sorry.
you're gonna be disappointed with all of us.
Well, you got a horse, a troll, and an ogre. All right, so you're gonna be underwhelmed.
Wait, who's the troll and who's the? I mean, we know who the horse is, but who's the troll
We
and
know
who's the ogre?
Devin's
I'm
a
the
troll.
troll. You're the ogre.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh,
All right.
man.
Let's do one more.
Better stay off
One
my
more?
bridge.
Okay. Jeez.
I think we all agreed though we'd take the blind date over the internet date.
Yeah,
I think so,
I'm
right?
actually
'Cause
like the more I
internet-
talk about it, the blind date sounds like a really fun time. Like it's
Yeah.
actually like a bucket list thing I want to do now.
Like with the blind date, you're only gambling okay, what do they look like?
Yeah.
With the online date, you're like, are they even the gender that I like? Or are they even the person
are they
that
a
I
real
would be
person?
attracted to? Like,
or are they
Yeah.
are they a
Indian
real
scammer?
person?
I feel like a blind date is way more low stakes too. Like if I was to do it, I wouldn't even necessarily be doing it looking for love, but just for like, oh, that'd be a fun night out. Like get to know
totally.
someone.
Yeah.
You know? Kind of whatever.
Um,
Whereas if you're
okay, here's
going
one.
an online date, it's a bit more intense.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather have a family of 12 children or never be able to have children at all?
Never be able to have children.
So we're talking cheaper by the dozen, or
I don't think I could have 12 children. I'm sorry. Like
let's change it to: would you rather have a large family or never be able to?
no,
have,
like I
have
mean,
children
12
at all?
children is it's still a fair argument.
If you were gonna say normal, I'd be like,
No, I mean, it's still a good.
I know
it's still a
people who
good
have
would you
that.
rather.
Oh yeah, me too.
What I would probably do is I'd probably never have kids again and then just adopt.
Yeah, but I was wondering when I read this question if you aren't even able to adopt, because I was thinking the
Yeah,
same
I think it's like are you?
You're a criminal.
You have a spouse, but you can't. You just don't have children at all throughout your entire life.
Yeah,
I'm okay
you're a
with
criminal and you were castrated, so you can never have children, and
Oh,
and because
Jesus.
you're a criminal, you can never adopt any kids either.
Why
so-
why is it castration? Why can't it just be like a regular a thing that actually exists where people are infertile just by genetics? Why is it something super gruesome?
'Cause didn't-
What is-
back in-
Normal
what
getting-
is wrong
getting
with you?
snipped.
Didn't
Like-
back in the medieval days, like when a guy was a maniac, they would castrate him so he couldn't reproduce?
But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why is that? That's not weird.
There's definitely more civilized medicinal practices nowadays.
okay, so we've diverged from 12 kids or no kids to castration or a large family.
Yeah.
Large
I think we're gonna
family.
go with a large family now. Actually,
I wouldn't mind a large family, but also if I wasn't able to have children, I'd be okay with that.
yeah, I do really want to have kids. Like, I just want to see
Yeah.
little mini-me's running around. Like, I think it'd be so
Uh,
fun.
that would be really hilarious.
Oh, no.
Devon's
That's what I mean. I just want to
Devin,
see what my
Devin,
children
you know
will be like.
he would just pawn them off on us as many times as he could.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys-
You're going to see Uncle Devin today. Okay.
Oh God, I wouldn't leave my kids alone with him. They come back with like a whole pile of D&D books. He sent them home with a bunch of miniatures. Oh, I got them in the
I'm not-
Warhammer today.
Are you kidding me? I'm not giving him my freaking
They're
miniatures.
5.
Uh,
man.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
think
though.
I-
Like
I think I. Sorry. The
That was you
No,
guys
I-
both
I-
stopped at the exact same time.
Devin,
I
Devin,
know
you
a
know
lot
what?
of
You go.
people with. Oh, thank you.
You go,
Thank
yeah.
you. I appreciate it. I know quite a few people with very large families, and honestly, I don't think it has nothing to do with the amount of people. It has to do with usually some of the kids get shafted, like they're ignored, and some of the kids
Okay,
get
jeez.
way too much.
That's not what I was thinking. Okay.
So the kids get shafted. Okay.
Okay.
And some of the
Farm
kids,
kids
and-
out
and-
here.
Wow. I don't
And
know what
some of the
families
kids-
you know of.
homeschooling families, obviously.
Yeah.
And some of the kids, they get way too much responsibility. Like you have like a 16-year-old son or daughter who is basically a third parent. Like they just get way too
Yeah, like
much
taking care of
responsibility.
the
Just so
young
you,
kids.
if I had
Yeah.
a family of 12 children, I think I would at least start a family band. So
Oh,
and I
he
think
says with 2 guitars and a piano behind him.
yeah. See, there you go. No, I mean, I just know that those family bands really take off, and it's better. I just think it's one way for the family to get together. You know.
Did you know that the Von Trapp family band is still a thing?
Yeah, there's all the my
That's
dad
crazy.
watches all these family. My dad has
The
like a family
original-
band thing.
'Cause
He watches a lot of them.
The Von Trapps were like an actual real family.
Mhm.
And like Captain Von Trapp was a real person, and so I think it's his grandchildren or something are there's like 4 of them that are the Von Trapp family singers or something like that, which is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I would hate that.
So I think I think if I could come up with some kind of scenario where it wasn't just going to be 12 kids sitting around, I don't know, being annoying, but it's like, oh, we could come up with some kind of, like, every big family has their thing. Like, they're either like farmers or they have like a family business. Like, you need a thing.
What if, here's a situation, what if one of your kids is like, I don't want to do that? Would you be the dad that's like, no, my father was a farmer, I'm a farmer, you're going to castrate him? You're like, no, my father was a farmer, I'm a farmer, you're going to be a farmer, but your kids, not going to be existent.
No.
I don't know. I
whatever.
want kids, but I don't want that many kids.
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
I
don't know what I would do.
Have one kid that's just not interested.
Stuck on this family
band.
I'm sorry, but okay, fine. A family band. 14 people in a family band is still way too much.
Yeah.
That's too big of a band.
That's what I mean. If a couple of the kids don't want to do it, that's fine. They're like the roadies or something, you know?
Yeah, you can just kill them and it's fine.
Yeah, you just kill them.
Yeah.
Just kill them.
Honestly, I would probably take the 14.
If your kids didn't want to be in your family band, do you kill them or do you let them live? What do you guys think?
Kill them, obviously.
I let them live, but not in this family. They're out.
Yeah.
I think going back to the topic at hand, I'd probably go with 0 kids over 12.
Yeah, I'm thinking the family band would probably be the best scenario.
Oh my goodness. It's not saying would you rather have no kids or a family band. It's you're like a bulldog. You're just like stuck on this.
Like once you get past 8 kids, you have to be the family. Like, you can't not be a family band.
You have to be a family band, or you have to have be like a cult or something. Like, I just feel like when families get that big, they turn into some kind of cult.
Oh man!
But
because
Noah,
they don't
what
need
if
to go
all
see,
of your
they don't
kids
need to have friends. They don't need to see the rest of their families because they can all just hang out with each other all the time. There's so many of them.
Well,
you could hang out with a different sibling every single day.
There's some people in the world that follow like. There's some people that follow. There's It's in like hardcore Christians. They follow what's called the open womb concept.
Oh yeah.
Which means when
Their
God thinks when God thinks I'm done having kids, that's when I'll stop having kids. So like they'll just have children until they can't.
No,
that's like them. That's up there with like, oh, you have cancer? God'll take care of it. I'm just gonna sit at home. It's like, no, you should get treatment.
If you want a huge family and you are financially able to sustain that, sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
But I think this is talking like
that's
a big
why
family
the
and be able
band
to
is a
sustain
good
it.
idea, right? You start
so you get money from album sales.
Someone kick him from the call, honestly.
Album sales, YouTube videos, sponsorships. Anyways, wow.
Wow.
Well, I'm glad we spent 15 minutes talking about family bands. I mean, I think our parents and my Nana's going to be happy. We didn't really talk about much death today, so. Well, we did. The family band turned into death a little bit.
Yeah, it turns into death, but that's fine.
Now we have
life.
Now we have no excuse.
Moral of the story: life turns into death. So
yeah, and we have no excuse because we can't even blame the questions anymore.
Yeah, we just it was about kids or no kids, and somehow we got turned into
we're killing
castration and murder.
Yeah, my bad. That was on me.
That was on you. 100%.
That was on you. Yeah.
Jeez,
normally it's me, but this time it's on you.
Well, guys, I think that's
a moral dilemma.
That's enough.
That's a wrap. Anyways, if you're still friends with me in 20 years, just check out the Hollinshead family band. Probably be kicking out some wild tunes. I feel like I have to start a family band now.
And if his kids aren't singers, check out the Holland's Dead family band.
This is horrible. Oh, sarcasm.
He's buried under the treehouse.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, it's a joke.
Sarcasm,
it's a joke. Please, I'm not a horrible person. I will love all my children so much. I'm staring into the camera so they know I'm emotional.
Right.
I could cry right now. I would never kill a child, let alone a miniature Noah, a little genius.
Unless it was to give it to aliens for world peace. Like we talked about in what is that, the second episode?
It was like 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 3 years. It
wasn't that long ago.
No.
It felt like
Devin,
ages
remember,
ago.
The FBI remembers everything. So.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. And please don't take our advice. But if you do, let us know.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Let us know.
That's it.
That's all.
That's the episode.
And cut.
Cut. That's the end. Cut. The episode is over. Gotta sleep.
God, I want to have 12 kids.